CaneRod likes for two, full pipe love is the place for you if you like pipes and chatting, and especially if you being merry and is hotter than ginger.
Hello friends and happy Friday. How is everyone doing tonight? Had to do that celebrating the fact that Ray's got the night off. How you doing, Ray? I saw that pop up and I said, I know what I'm gonna do. So, happy Friday. I am enjoying some haunted bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli, as is the tradition here on the Friday night live stream. And welcome to the only 90 minutes on YouTube where you can watch me sit in my basement and drink for some reason. Good to be here. Missed you guys last week. Missed you quite a bit. Had a good time. Had a good Easter, and everything was fine. But yeah, it was a break in the routine. Things I don't miss, I'll tell you about in a little bit. Something interesting going on. But all is good. All is very good. And how are you? So let's see who we have assembled here so far this evening. Looks like a good crowd already. So we got, there's John Brett. Good to see you, John. And I hope you can stay awake. David's Bookshop, David G, Cypress Piper, Jeffrey Feinberg, the aforementioned Mushroom Leg, who's off work. Good to see you tonight, Ray. Smarty Bob, Gary Edminster, Hazard Borden, Pondering with Pepe's Pipes #2. Good to see you, Pepe. I know you're the original, but you got stuck with that too, I understand. There's Bona Piper. Great to see you, Christian. Alex Saunders Jr., good evening to you. Chris Weber, good to see you coming in from Iowa. As always, Chris. Algonquin Breyer, happy Friday to you. Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. Richie B. James Steidle. Paul Johnson. My goodness, quite a crowd. Chris is going to be having a haunted bookshop for the first time in during the live stream. Very cool. Bob Kraus and Millie Mitrovic. Happy Friday to you. Great to see you guys. I think I'm caught up. Fantastic. Ah, it gets harder to do that every time, and I'm happy for that. It's fantastic to have so many folks show up early. I really enjoy that. I just think it's hilarious. I'll start setting up sometimes 20 minutes early, and there'll be two guys just chatting away, and it's great to see that. You know, it just shows what kind of community we're dealing with. Where show up early, there's somebody going to be there to chat with you. All good. But tonight was a hectic night. Friend called me. I was thinking about making dinner, and a friend called me. So first off, I worked. I went into work this morning. I came home at lunchtime, and I worked from home in the afternoon. And I actually sat out on my patio for a bit with my laptop computer, but that didn't go so well. Within about 5 minutes, I could not see the monitor anymore. Not because of the sun, because I was angled away from that, but the pollen just attacked the monitor. I guess there's a static charge that drew it in or something, but it just was absolutely covered with pollen. It was amazing. So I had to come back in and wipe that off. So I worked, and then I suddenly said, oh, I better start thinking about dinner because I got to do the show tonight at 8. And then a friend of mine called that I hadn't talked to in a while, so I was chatting with him for a while. I got off the phone with him, and I thought, oh man, I got to hurry up. I only got an hour, so I made dinner. I ate faster than I should have, which doesn't have me feeling great right now. Tried to get the dogs to go out, tried to get them to eat, and they just were not into it for some reason tonight. They didn't want to eat, which is weird for them. They did, and then they didn't really want to go out, and so I come running down here. I'm getting everything set up. Of course, that's when they want to go out, like 10 minutes to 8. So I got to run up and set them, get them back in, and I come running down here. It's like 3 minutes till, and I look at the monitor as I'm getting things set up, and it's 3 minutes to 7. I was an hour early, and dummy just didn't think to look at the clock. So yeah, that was fun. But then I had a whole hour to relax, so that was pretty cool. Ghost Rider, hello. Wet and rainy Melbourne. Oh, I wish it was a little bit more wet and rainy here, but not tomorrow, although it is going to rain tomorrow. Thus Move Piper, good to see you, Peter. There were no pictures of flowers or bees, but the pollen wouldn't care about that, Richie. At least not pollen that I'm familiar with. Yes, Mile, it is interesting that we had the same Easter this year, and it was wonderful. I enjoyed it. It was a very nice day. Didn't do very much. The missus is in Pittsburgh with her family, so it was just me and the dogs. But we had a fine day. So thank you for asking. I hope you had a good one as well, and I hope everyone had a very nice Easter if you're Easter celebrating folk. Poem, I don't think I caught you earlier. Good to see you tonight. So I was saying there are things I don't miss, and I tell you, I really did miss. I honestly thought about doing a Sunday morning video, but I just didn't want to. I wanted to just disconnect for 4 days because I took off on Good Friday and did my usual Good Friday thing, and then I took off on Easter Monday just to have a day off. And Michael Case, all you can eat pancakes at Denny's. My goodness, I would take that as a challenge. I can eat quite a few pancakes. Not a big fan of pancakes, actually. It's not something I normally order, but if you put them in front of me and say, bet you can't eat more, I will. Hope you enjoyed it, Michael. And Lord Hogarth, good to see you, buddy. Good evening to you. Yeah, so I really did miss the videos. Thought about making one on Sunday, but I just said no. I'm not gonna look at email. I'm not gonna look at anything. I'm just gonna spend 4 days. I did a lot of gardening type stuff. I took care of the dogs. Played with them for a bit. Watched a couple of movies. Watched a couple of baseball games. It was just a good, nice, quiet 4 days like I haven't had in a very long time. But then Tuesday came, and I remembered that I had decided for Lent that I was not going to open Instagram or Facebook as part of. It wasn't the only thing, but it was something I find myself wasting a lot of time on that, and I thought, well, I'm gonna do that partially because it helps me, but also because it's gonna be hard because there's people that I keep in touch with there and all that. And I sat down on Tuesday and I thought, I guess I can open that now, but I'm not going to. And the more I think about opening up Instagram, the more panicked I get about it. It's weird. I actually feel panicked about it because I know there's going to be messages from people and people I care about, not people that, not just random messages. And I'm going to have to spend time answering them. And I'm going to get back into that routine. And what inevitably happens is, like, I open up Instagram, I see I've got 2 or 3 messages, so I go and look at those. I spend time answering them, and a lot of the times people are sending me videos that I watch or something like that, and I watch them and then I respond, and before you know it, an hour has gone by. And then I remember why I opened Instagram in the first place, which is, to look at what's going on in the pipe world. But of course, Instagram is throwing all kinds of other stuff at me, and that leads me down different rabbit holes and stuff. And before you know it, 2 hours are gone. And I'm busy. I don't have that kind of time. So I may just continue to stay away from it. And everybody that knows me and is a good friend, they have my cell phone number. They can contact me. Anybody else has my email address. You can contact me. I don't want to exclude anyone. It's not like I'm trying to be antisocial. I just need to better manage my own time. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, Doug Owen. Good to see you, Doug. Yeah, Phillies aren't having a great time these days either, Doug. So, but yeah, Cardinals are having some troubles. Fillmore Films. Good to see you tonight. And Big Dave. Good evening. Great to see you, Big Dave. What I do miss is the pipe content. That's the attraction for me. I follow a lot of pipe makers, pipe carvers, and a lot of people will show off new pipes that they buy, or even just picture the pipe you're smoking that day. I used to really enjoy taking those pictures in the morning and putting them on Instagram with just a little, this is what I'm thinking about right now. It's a lot of fun, but it just turned into something else. It's like back when I used to do the Twitter. Uh, I intentionally put the word "the" in there. It was the early days of that, and you had the however many character limit and all that, and it was fun just because you'd get this random thought and you'd compose it and you'd send it out there. Maybe somebody would think it was funny, or maybe somebody would think it was insightful, or maybe nobody would read it, but it didn't matter. And occasionally somebody would respond and say, hey, that was pretty cool, and you'd look at what they do and you'd, I like that, and you'd follow them. And but it was all text. It wasn't any ads, there wasn't any rabbit holes. It was just, you know sort of a way of sharing thoughts, and that went away. That went away pretty quickly too when it happened. All of a sudden I opened it up and it was pictures, and that, in my opinion, that just ruined it. And then of course the ads came along, and the algorithms, which you don't get to see what you want to see, you get to see what the algorithm thinks you want to see. YouTube's no different, but at least with YouTube I can filter by subscription and focus in on that. I'm sounding like a cranky old man. I apologize for that. But hey, I've been alone by myself for 2 weeks. I gotta vent to somebody. What's in my bowl? Fillmore Films. I am smoking Haunted Bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday 7 How about you, my friend? What are you smoking? I like that, Doug. I like the idea of a World Series for the worst teams. We should have a separate series. Should play it after the World Series. It could be the, I don't know, the World Loser Series. The bottom two teams have to play it out. We just do a 3-game series though, because it might be painful. We have a lot of extra inning, nothing games, or a lot of extra inning, 21-21 games. Who knows? I do like that idea though. Well, Doug, there's more evidence that we're twins because I started being cranky around 17. I used to always joke that I was an 80-year-old man in a 17-year-old body because I was interested in things that nobody my age was interested in, and I got cranky very easy. David, I'm out of the loop. What is the show? I'm assuming it's the Chicago show. Is that happening now? No, oh maybe. I don't know. I have no sense of calendar right now. Patrick Grant, good evening to you, sir. Well, Fillmore Films is having Backwoods Black and Gold in Washington Corn Cob from Missouri Mission. Fantastic. That sounds like a fine way to spend a Friday evening. Gary, thank you so much. What would I do without you, buddy? Tonight's beverage of choice is my last can of Asher's Chocolate Company Chocolate Imperial Stout from Conshohocken Brewing. This is wonderful stuff. Let's see if I can not spill it. If Gary didn't remind me to open my beer and Patrick didn't remind me to stop talking, I'd just be going on forever with no alcohol. Oh, I tempted fate, and fate won. Almost made it. What's a little beer on your pant leg amongst friends, right? Oh, sorry. Banged my head and shook the whole camera. We're recovered. Yeah, this is, I don't know if I'd buy more of this because I enjoy trying different things, and this is definitely not an everyday beer for me, but it's really good. I've had a lot of chocolate stouts and chocolate peanut butter stouts and things like that, and they vary, but this one, it's not sweet. It's more of a dark chocolate, and it's not very overpowering, so it really is more like just a stout with a little touch of that dark chocolate. I'm really enjoying it. Or I have really enjoyed it, I suppose I should say. On your way home, Patrick? Well, drive safely. Oh no, home. Soy sauce all over the coffee table doesn't sound good. Armchair Piper, how you doing, Ed? I think I missed you if you were here earlier, but good to see you. Not your fault indeed, Gary, It's your fault I opened the beer, it's my fault I spilled it. No, it's a soy table. Well, it's got a story to tell, Pone. It's like when you drop your pipe and it hits the concrete and you get a little scratch in it. You always remember that moment. For the first 5 or 6 years, it won't be fondly, but eventually it'll be fondly. Ronnie Ewing, glad to see you, buddy. All's good here. Working oh man, busy, huh? And God bless you, Ronnie. It's wonderful work you're doing. Ah, Doug, that's a very grandfather thing to say, isn't it? Rob Link. I am fascinated by that, and you're going to have to expand on that a little bit. The term to blow smoke up someone's rear is directly connected to pipe smoke. I say he needs to expand on it, but now I'm worried. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, Patrick, that is fantastic. I'm so glad to hear your dad is doing better. We'll keep praying for him anyway, buddy. Piper Okie grew in a haunted house. Some bug juice. That is great, Doug. It was used to revive. No, it was not used to revive drowning victims. Come on. You serious, Rob? I just can't believe someone thought that would work. Couch, how you doing, buddy? There's a good one. Getting down to brass tacks. Paul wants to know if anybody knows where that comes from. I was thinking of one earlier like that didn't make sense the more I thought about it, and of course it's pulling out of my head now. I've heard put that in your pipe and smoke it. Chris, I know you meant that with all sincerity and in the hopes of educating me, but there is no way I'm going to Google that. Yeah, safe search on. Dead ringer. Well, don't just tell us that it's your favorite. What does it mean? Ah, Poem knows where the phrase comes from. If I had a guess, Poem, I think it's got something to do with shoes and the tacks on the soles of shoes. Like the leather wearing away and the brass tacks coming through. Gary Edminster finally has his alpha bent billiard going with a pint of honey brown. Not your first tonight. Gary, we gotta get together sometime. I think you can teach me how to get started a little bit earlier on Fridays. Bad Company Piper UK, good evening. All is well here. You've got some G&H Rich Dark Spring Drew. Very nice. Ah, so Doug thinks it might be brass tacks on leather chairs. Chris Webber is Dead Ringer from the same concept as a graveyard shift. Could be. But why would that mean identical to? So dead ringer is from the custom of providing bell pulls in coffins so the people who had been buried alive could call for help. How does that make it mean something that looks like something else? I know you can Google search Ghost Rider. No fun in that. Dead as Kelsey's not. I don't even know that one, Lord Hogarth. Ah, interesting. And Chris Webber says graveyard shift was for the person who was paid to sit in the graveyard overnight to listen for bells. That is interesting. Ah, good thing. Good idea, Hazard Borden. So is brass tacks a horseshoe reference? Oh, okay. So it was cavalry boots, says Poem. Interesting. Creator of the boundless universe, a thought of the professor reviving Marianne after being overwhelmed in the ocean. Oh no, no. I know where you're going, creator. Piper on the 45, good evening. On the way home from work, so you're lurking. Well, drive safely, buddy. Oh, those nefarious scientists, Chris. They were always doing that, weren't they? Actually, it wasn't the scientists. They usually were paying people to do it for them. But it was quite common. So, Rob, I could understand that if it was like a liquid, mix or an extraction of tobacco, but the actual smoke is what I don't get. So they weren't actually using smoke. They were using, well, maybe they were. You know what? I think I've gone down that road as much as I want to, Rob. But it's fascinating. Ian Haywood, good to see you, buddy. Oddity indeed, Rob. Indeed. Gary, hello. Good to see you tonight. I wish I could remember the phrase that I thought of tonight because it really bothered me. It's one of these things that you've been saying your whole life and then you realize that doesn't make sense. And now I've forgotten it, so I'll probably continue to say it. Phil Rivera, how you doing, Phil? Great to see you tonight. You missed the housekeeping, Carrie? It'll wait. You can do it tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. More rain. Been getting a lot, huh, Phil? Young Frankenstein was a wonderful one. No, it wasn't Get Your Goat. No. But it was something like That Really Takes the Cake, or That's the Last Straw. It wasn't that either, though. I can sit here and stare into space and think about it all night or to set it aside. Oh, that housekeeping. I'm sorry, Carrie. I'm miles away. I'm out of practice. It's been weeks. I am smoking the Matches Memorial Friday 7 LA with Haunted Bookshop, which I'm almost done with. And tonight I am drinking Asher's chocolate, Asher Chocolate Company Chocolate Imperial Stout made by Conshohocken Brewing, uh, which I highly recommend if you're in that sort of thing, into that sort of thing. Um, and other folks can chime in with what they're enjoying right now. Home has got some fine Evan Williams whiskey. That's nice. Gary also failed to remember something. Sonoran Slinger. Hi to you, my friend. Good to see you. And he's showing us some cacti, some puffs of smoke, a couple of eyes, and a couple of aliens. Um, I don't speak emoji. It was not Who Let the Dogs Out, Mushroom Lane, but thank you for playing. It will come to me as soon as I click the stop button, I'm sure. If I if I think of it right after I sign off, I will write it down and I will open up on Sunday morning with it. Yeah, I would never kiss the Blarney Stone. I would love to go to Ireland. I have roots in Ireland and would love, but I've heard too many stories about things like that, Doug. Oh, Alexander, it's great to see you, and thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you to say. And it's great to have you checking in with us from Serbia. Wonderful. I hope all is well with you. That's some rain, Gary. You know, Big Dave, that will always make me laugh. The joke I can't tell. So I heard an Irish joke I could tell that I thought was funny. Oh, that is great to hear, Alexander. I'm glad the pipe community is strong there. And it'd be great. I mean, if the folks in Serbia started checking in more and maybe even making some videos, that'd be wonderful to have that connection. Yes, Richie, it's that joke. And it's one of the funniest jokes I know, and I cannot tell it. $5,000 car repair in a Mini Cooper? What did they do? Replace every molecule? Sorry, Bone. I'm glad it's like new. I mean, I have had so many car problems with my 15-year-old car that I have no room to laugh. But it's like new now. Now Big Dave's quoting Mr. Howe. Lord Hogarth, from what I know of Irish women, you were dancing in dangerous territory with that one. So here's my Irish joke. It's a joke from Ireland, not a joke about Irish people. Well, it's kind of about Irish people because there's Irish people in it, but you'll get the joke. So, uh, I need two Irish names to tell the joke. So Murphy and Conley go out in a boat. I think Conley's an Irish name. And they go out in the ocean and they're fishing, and the motor dies, and they're stuck out there. And no current. They're just sitting there drifting, and they do the best they can with what they have, and they catch a few fish. They've got a little bit of water. Uh, Days turn into weeks. A couple weeks go by. They're really in bad shape, sunburn and dehydrated and everything else, and they're just waiting for something to come by and a boat to come by and save them, some miracle. And they're floating beside the boat. They see a bottle, and they pick up the bottle, and it's an old ornate bottle, and uh, Murphy hands it over to Conroy, and Conroy is like rubbing it to get the dirt off the label to try to see what it is, and all of a sudden there's this big puff of smoke, and out comes a genie. And the genie says, "He will, thank you for releasing me. I will grant you one wish. You only get one this time." And they think for a minute, and Conroy says, "Well, turn the ocean into Guinness." And the genie says, "It is done," and poof, the ocean is just a giant ocean of Guinness beer, and the genie disappears with the bottle, and they're just left sitting there in the boat, surrounded by Guinness. And Murphy says to Conroy, he says, "What did you go and do that for? Now I'm going to have to pee in the boat." That's my joke. He thought it was funny. Let's see. Mini is made by BMW. That's true, Patrick. That's true. Mile is asking, do I know what makes Tesla Jokic and I need my glasses for this. Jokic and Djokovic, so great. I do not, Mealy. I get it, Hazard. You know, basic car is a good thing. Okay, a couple of people liked my jokes. And my Irish brother, the smooth piper, liked it, so that helps. What's one thing new pipers should stop doing? Asked Fillmore Films. Oh, I bet we can get some good answers to that one. Very funny, Piperoki. Too farty. I like that. One thing new Piper should stop doing. So, Fillmore, was that a joke, or do you really want advice? Because I'll take a risk and give you advice, and then you can make it a joke and make me look silly. Uh, oh, I made John Brett smile. I'm happy. I'm glad you guys liked it. So Richie B says stop rushing. Phil Rivera says stop using a torch lighter and tamping the backy like you're laying bricks. Yeah, good. Fillmore's only in his seventh pouch, so he's new. That's I've known newer Fillmore. Yeah, don't stop smoking Captain Black Grape and bacon old fashioned, says Doug. Smoke slow, and that's the serious answer, says Mushroom Leg. I like Carrie's advice. Stop looking at all the reviews before smoking something. Everybody's taste is different. You're not going to have the same reaction. Stop comparing pipes and cigars. Good point, Paul Johnson. They are both unique and special in their own way. Yeah, that's a good one. My advice, I mean, the one thing that I would say all new pipe smokers should stop doing is stop worrying. Just smoke the pipe. You're going to have good bowls, you're going to have bad bowls, and the more you smoke, you're going to have more good bowls than bad bowls. But you know what? I've been doing this for well over 30 years now, and I still have the occasional bad bowl. I'll have bowls that I have to just dump because they're not burning right. They just, for whatever reason, don't taste right. Even though I'm smoking the same tobacco I've been smoking for 20 some years now, every once in a while it just doesn't come together. And it might be the way I packed it, it might be the way I tamped it might be the way I lit it. I don't know. There's art to this, and nobody can tell you how to do it. So stop looking, and I have a whole video about this, about meeting the Buddha on the road. Stop looking for a guide. You already know how to do it. You just have to figure it out. That's my advice. Stop worrying and just do it. I agree about that Visions of Caliphas, or however it's pronounced, Richie. That stuff has definitely got a great topping. Yeah, Piperoki, don't chase the small batches, the limited releases, all that kind of stuff. Unless you like doing that kind of thing, you know. I'm glad to hear your bowels are fine, Phil. Oh, bowel bowls. Oh. Yeah, Hazard, that's a good point. Don't give up too easily. There you go. It's got 55 years in it, and he's still learning. Don't chase overpriced Unobtainable blends. Paul Johnson says, very good advice. Didn't follow the Masters at all, creator, but I'm glad that the win was well deserved. Don't be afraid to try flake. There you go, Carrie. Mushroom leg uses the pick more than the tamp. That's interesting. I've seen people do that. I have tried Samoy. Samoy. I really like it. I have quite a bit of it actually. And I got to get some. You know, I'm going to get a jar of that out for to put into running for the tobacco of the month, which is next week. This is my favorite time of year to smoke Samoy in the spring and early summer. It's good stuff. So I am out of Haunted Bookshop here. Yeah, Samoy is very unique. And it's interesting because it is just a straight burley, but it's not like any straight burley I've ever had. It's much lighter than most burleys, and it definitely has a additional flavor to it that sometimes it's floral, sometimes it's herbal, vegetal, sometimes it's just burley. Ah, second bowl, second bowl. I'm gonna wait a minute or two. Yes, smoking and colon cleaning. We do it all here. Oh, you're one of the guys that takes the ash off. Okay, Pope. Full service live stream indeed, James. Samoy does come real dry, and it's a very fine cut. At least the stuff I'm used to. I saw somebody refer to a chunkier cut that I haven't had. Um, but yeah, Five Brothers is actually in the same category as Samoy. It's dry and it's a fine, very fine shag cut. So when you smoke those, you gotta really pack them tight. You want to pack them much harder than you think you should, um, and that'll get them to burn properly. If you pack them the way you would normally pack tobacco, it's going to burn really, really fast, and it's going to burn you. It just will be too hot. But it's interesting that really fine shag cut can take that pressure because it bounces back well, and it'll leave a little bit of airspace so you can still smoke it even though it's packed in really tight. I agree, Peter. It just all goes together well. A bready taste, says the novice piper. I don't think I've gotten that from Samoy, but I'm not surprised. It is very complex for a single leaf blend. Piper on the 45 has a question for ex-cigarette smokers. What blend did you use to stop cigarettes? Interesting question. YouTuber out of Long Island. Is it Grandpa Cavendish, Palm? Okay, I have that poem. Actually, funny enough, Richie B rather. Funny enough, Grandpa Cavendish sent me the Blue Label Samoy. That's a real odd juxtaposition of chat messages. And I do have some of that. I don't remember it being chunkier. A different cut, but it wasn't like a flake. Pile of dry sticks at a bird nest indeed. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't answer. I do like Five Brothers, and I'm not nicotine sensitive, so I don't know if it's got a big nick hit or not. But I do enjoy the flavor of it. But it's interesting. So that's a straight, I believe that's a straight barley blend, single leaf blend. And for that one, I don't get the complexity out of it. So that's a good working on something kind of smoke. Like if I'm going to be working in the yard or I'm going to be doing some woodworking or something, because I don't have to think about it. Not that I have to think about other things, but I like to, you know. So if something's more complex, I like to save that for times when I can enjoy it and actually think about what I'm smoking. Whereas with something that's more simple, I enjoy when I don't have to really pay attention to it to get the most out of it. So Hazard Borden says haunted bookshop stopped the cigarettes for him. That's interesting, Alexander. He tamps to the sides and leaves the center high. That's interesting, Piperoki. So smoking the same blend out of 4 pipes, three taste like warm cinnamon bread, and the other one tastes like black licorice. That's a pretty big difference. Are you guys talking about Grandpa Cavendish? I think he's just fine. I either heard from him not that long ago or he made a video not that long ago. There's something shady going on there, Phil, for sure. Sebastian Horton, you're not late, just in time. Do I like Kirsten Pipes? Asked Mushroom Leg. I only had one, and I didn't keep it just because I didn't really find it to be all that. I don't know. It seemed gimmicky to me, but that was sort of before I got the Falcon, and I guess I wouldn't mind trying a Kirsten again, but I don't know much about them. I restored one and thought about keeping it, and then wound up letting it go. All right. Well, what's the next tobacco going to be? So, I have enough of this. So I still have to do. I've really enjoyed this stuff. I mean, I'm down to less than a quarter of the tin left. Um, this is good stuff. So it's either this or let's see, we got what is this? This is Habana Daydream. You know, I'm gonna smoke the beast. I'm gonna smoke the beast, and I'm gonna do that, which is the tobacco of the month, so it's only fitting. And I'm gonna do my impressions of this Sunday. I've got this. I made this pipe. I don't remember making it. I haven't made that many. I pulled this out of the rack and I said, where the heck did this pipe come from? I honestly do not remember this one. But yeah, it's mine. It's one of the ones I made from one of the pre-phrased stumbles, so I just don't remember doing it. Yep. And I was smoking earlier and it's a bit clogged, so we'll put a pipe cleaner through it. Grandpa Cavendish is indeed a person, Fillmore Films. He's actually the guy that's responsible for me making YouTube videos. There we go. That was hard to get out for some reason. I first met Grandpa Cavendish through a comment on one of Holy Smokin' Pipe Padres videos. And we got to chatting all in that comment and then by email, and he was making videos and I commented on some of his videos and he said, hey, you should make them, and I didn't want to, and he eventually convinced me to, you know, he said, hey, just do a video about how you clean your pipes. It's okay. So I made one. You look at my first video, it's just my hands showing how I clean a pipe. And then I said, well, I guess I got to do an introduction. And here I am. Many years later. Padre Piper is, I believe, still fine, busy. I have not heard from him in a while, but I did recently see a video from, is it Mark VV? I forget what his YouTube name is now because he changed it. And he was talking about talking to Padre Piper and, you know, indicated that things were fine. Danny, howdy to you, sir. Good to see you. The Smooth Piper got 2 new pipe lighters for butane and he can't fill them. Anyone can help. It would depend on the lighters, Peter, but I remember there used to be different fittings for different lighters. I think they've all kind of standardized now, but anybody else have any ideas? Yes, so there are still those little adapter tubes. I remember buying a can of butane once and it came with like 8 different little, like a ring of 8 little plastic pieces that you could break off and check the fitting. I haven't seen those in a long time though. Okay, so apparently a lot of butane does still come with adapters. Just the ones I buy doesn't. Don't. The ones I buy don't. There we go. That's English. So you like the 2025 blend, Mile? I ordered some of that. I got 4 tins of it that I'm just gonna sell her for a while. But this is 2023 and I really like it. Sebastian Horton is smoking Match 20 from Sutliff. It's an English blend. Very nice, Sebastian. I am smoking Cornell and Deal The Beast from 2023. True, Michael. There's a lot of other uses for butane. Maybe that's why they still sell the adapters, and I just have blinders on. Alexander Tosovic is asking, is it true that pure Perique is not really that strong? Depends on what you mean by strong. So I can't speak to the nicotine because I'm not sensitive to that. But I've smoked straight Perique and it's just not very tasty, to be honest. I was expecting to get a big blast of that spicy, figgy kind of flavor that you get from Perique, and it was just kind of tobacco. It wasn't very interesting. Paul Johnson just finished Into Thin Air, an amazing book and story. Ah, very nice, Paul. So I typically use the Zippo butane, Doug. I had some. I'll go over here. Yeah, so this is what I usually use, and it does not come with an adapter, and it fits everything that I've ever used it on. For a long time, I was using this stuff. I have a little bit of this left. Um, Lucian, I have no idea how to pronounce this, but it was a quadruple distilled. Um, just because I happened to come into a case of this, it's a long story. And this did not have any adapters on it, and it fit everything fine. So I don't know. Sebastian, you can put new flints in it, right? You can't possibly have worn out the wheel. Michael K says Perique is his only nemesis. My goodness. Steve S. How you doing, Steve? Briar Fox. Good stuff. You wore out the flint wheel. Wow. Well, as Phil Rivera is pointing out, you can send it back to Zippo and just pay the shipping, and they'll fix it for you and send it back. Um, Amazing company. I've done that with lighters, and it's remarkable. But I can't believe you wore the wheel out. You must have some pretty serious flint. Alexander says his only nemesis is clan tobacco. Clan is interesting stuff. Yeah, it's a good point, Phil. The wheels do clog. Have you tried just taking a wire brush to it, Sebastian? It might be that you've just clogged up the wheel. I know Brian's still making and selling pipes, Richie. I don't know if he's selling them on eBay or not, but subscribe to his channel. He talks about pipes quite a bit. Yeah, wire brush and denatured alcohol. You can soak the head in a little bit of alcohol, or even if you don't have denatured alcohol, just use some Zippo fluid on it. Ron Hardcrackers, Kendall Dark, and a Savinelli Bruna 2.7 rusticated apple with a Cumberland stem, and probably the last surviving bottle of Yingling Hershey Porter. Yeah, Hershey didn't want them to do it anymore. It is a pity. However, you could always go with Conshohocken Brewing Company's Asher's Chocolate Stout. So my buddy Couch, I think he might still be listening, if not uh, able to respond. He kindly sent me a pouch of Clan, and I actually did a video on it. It took me a while to understand it, and I had good things to say about it. If you go back and watch the video, I did not despise it, but as soon as I went from I'm going to really understand this tobacco to I'm just going to have a bowl of tobacco, it was like a flamethrower. If you're not really, really careful with that blend, it will burn the heck out of you. It just requires a lot of attention. It's not, it's an interesting blend because it's got so much going on. So I can't say that I didn't enjoy it, but it's certainly not something I would look forward to having more of. The Smooth Piper has finished his haunted bookshop. I win again, Peter, as I throw my glasses on the floor. And he's loading up HGL in his BBB panel facet pipe. Very nice. I'm curious, Sebastian, are those Zippo flints that you have from the 70s, are they, what color are they? No, Phil, it's nothing like Condor Long Cut. Condor Long Cut is delicious. Clan is and I hope I don't upset any Clan lovers out there, but Clan is basically the floor sweepings from the blending factory. It's got a little bit of everything in there, and it's dry, and it's interesting. Always something going on in the bowl. Yeah, Michael Case, I thank you for asking. That for a very long time I've been drinking 8 o'clock coffee, and I switched about 7 years ago now, 8 years ago, to a 50-50 mix, half decaf, half regular, because doctor's orders. And I don't have to do that anymore. The reason they wanted me to do that is gone now, but I just was used to it, so I just stuck with it. And I ordered directly from 8 o'clock coffee, and I have them deliver 4 bags I think it's every 4 months. They're 32-ounce bags. My wife doesn't drink coffee. I make one pot a day. It worked out fine, and I just had this automatic delivery, so I never had to think about it. It just arrived. I would have one bag left. The new box would come in. It was great. And then I ran out, and I was like, what the heck happened? So I go and check, and they canceled my order. And I said, okay, that's not nice of you, but all right. So I go in to order it, and they only had small bags. So I bought several small bags, and I thought, okay, we'll check back again when they start to run down. And then they had none. And so I contacted them, and they said, oh yeah, we're not making that anymore. And I was like, you couldn't have told me, you just canceled the order and didn't send out an email or anything. It's just we're not making that anymore, and you don't get it anymore. So I got a little mad about that. And I just randomly tried this coffee from Costco. My wife and I were in Costco one day, and I saw it, and I thought, well, I'm mad at 8 o'clock. Let me try this. Comes in a yellow bag. It begins with an M, and I cannot remember the name of it. I'll check on it for next time if anybody's interested. It is really good. I'm very impressed with it. I was afraid because I believe it's a Cuban roast, and I was afraid it was going to be that burnt Starbucky kind of stuff, which I can't stand, but it's not. It's very smooth. It's kind of like 8 o'clock, but with just a little bit more of a flavor to it. A good flavor, but not that 8 o'clock was ever lacking in flavor for me, but this is nice, and it's nice and smooth. Yeah, Doug, that's why I was asking about the color. And I'm sorry I babbled on about uh, because the red ones, I remember the red ones, and for a long time it bothered me because I had this clear image that my dad used to have this yellow plastic card with red flints lined up in it. And I every time I've ever seen Zippo, and he had a Zippo, and I always saw Zippo flints, and they're never red, and it just really bothered me. I could not put those two things together. The flints are black, Sebastian. That's interesting. I don't remember Zippo ever selling black flints. Anyway, send the thing back to Zippo. They'll fix it for you for free. You just have to pay the shipping. And whatever the problem is, that's it. It's Mayorga coffee. That's it. Thank you, Poem. Thank you. Um, so yeah, Mayorga coffee. I don't know if people like it or hate it, but I'm really impressed with it, and it's easy to get. It's right there in Costco. I can just pick it up. My wife and I go there at least every 2 weeks. I don't have to buy it every 2 weeks, but so problem solved. The flints my dad had might have been Ronson, Michael. I don't know. I just have this image of the red and the yellow. I can't see any text on it or anything. And I wish I could find, I know my dad had that Zippo somewhere, like in a drawer or something, and my sister couldn't find it when my dad passed away. I should have asked him about it because I used to play with it. Um, Not in a playing with matches kind of way. Because he got tired of filling it and stuff, so it just was hanging around. It wasn't it didn't have fluid in it. He used paper book matches. He was a cigarette smoker. And I know that that lighter is somewhere in that house, and I'd love to have that. Jeffrey says Mayorga also makes good cigars. The same Mayorga? Oh my goodness, Patrick, you're right. Is that? I need to get a bigger clock at the top of my monitor. 15 minutes to go, and I'm lagging behind. Okay, thank you, Michael. I'm gonna look that up on eBay tonight and see if it clicks with my memory. Uh, that sounds right, Big Dave. Yeah. So he must have bought the Ronson Flints then. Yeah, I'm with you, Richie. I use the stock Zippo Flints and never had trouble with them. I mean, I use my Zippo a lot, and I probably have to change the Flint, I don't know, every couple months maybe. Although to be fair, I've got several lighters. I'm not always using the same lighter. But I do tend to like keep it for a week or two before I switch it with another. So anyway, they're all fine. I mean, I guess some of them might clog the wheel, but you could just scrub it out with a brush and it's fine. Uh, but if you use it so much as I forget who it was, Sebastian did, then I guess you can damage the wheel after a while. But Zippo will fix it, so there you go. Is there an event coming up at the Tobacconist in Pennsylvania? You must mean Boswell. I'm not aware of one, poem, but if one does happen, I'll pass the information on. Oh, you're looking for your dad's Zippo too, James. Yeah, I hope you find it. I'm sure that's the case, Doug, but you know, it's it's from a time when materials were cheaper and it was okay to do that. I mean, these things are not exactly simple. But the Zippo flints come in. And I wish they would take advantage of this. I've done it. I think I did a video about this. Might have been an Instagram post. I don't remember. But I will take these to my belt sander and sand down the bottom so that it gets thin enough that it can fit into the screw that holds the flint in place in the Zippo. I don't know why they hadn't thought about that. This is so perfect. Somewhere on there should be something you can slot in there to turn that screw. Because you don't need it super tight, and maybe that's why they don't do it, because they don't want it super, you don't want to tighten it up with a screwdriver necessarily. But it does get tight, and I always find it hard to get it started. Just having something you can slot in there, and it's really helpful. I haven't done it with that one yet, but oh, Poem, good luck with that. I sure hope they sell, buddy. Oh, Black House is gone, Doug? I didn't know that. I have several tins of Black House. That was a lot of Kia Blend that I kind of liked. That was one of what's his name's? I can see his face. I cannot think of his name now. That guy that made all those blends. Oh, Paul, when are you going? I guess you're going soon if you're concerned about the papal events. Well, have a nice trip. A penny works fine, Peter. I just I'm already holding the Zippo thing. I just don't have to go look for a penny. Russolette, thank you. You can use the case of like, yeah, but I always worry about bending it, Michael. I never want to do that. I've been very tempted, but I wasn't talking about Glenn Quelch. Boy, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Yes, Peter, indeed. Um, Pope Francis has passed away, and I got to tell you, he was a very, very polarizing figure. Um, Not a pope that I agreed with very much. And yes, Catholics are allowed to disagree with the Pope. A lot of people are surprised by that. Uh, Depends on what he's saying and what the topic is and all that. But nevertheless, I'm sure that he was as all church leaders are, no matter what church we're talking about. These are people that have dedicated their life to the service of their flock, and I'm thankful for his service in that way, and yeah, certainly pray for his soul. I know that you haven't been the case. I'm sure I will never bend the case. I just something I worry about. I'm not logical all the time. Well, it can't be because they want to sell more lighters. Because if I bend the case, I'm sending it back to them. And they're going to fix it. I don't even know, does it actually, because I'm always tempted. Does it actually fit? Oh, it does. Hmm. Yeah. I did used to use the case to open up the Zippo fluid, but then I believe it was Michael Case actually, and several other people commented on this, but I think Michael Case was the one that said, if you read the can, it tells you not to close the thing all the way. And since I've done that, it's just been as easy as it could be. He wasn't Sicilian creator. He was from South America somewhere. I can't remember where right now. And I don't believe he was the first Jesuit pope either. I think there have been other Jesuits. I could be wrong about that. I'd have to check. No, Russ didn't pass away. He's just gone silent. Argentina, thank you. Yes, Argentina. His first Jesuit. Okay. I stand corrected, James. And Chris. Thank you, Chris. I did not realize that. I would have thought there had been other Jesuit popes. That's interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting. As so many things in the world right now, um, there's this state of flux where you don't really know what's going to happen next. And here we've been through a fairly tumultuous time, and now somebody new is going to step in, and what's that going to look like? Sebastian has been carrying a Zippo since 15. That's pretty cool. You got me beat, Sebastian. Although I was playing with a Zippo when I was like 6, so does that count? So the creator says he was born in Sicily and his parents moved to Argentina when he was young. Okay, I did not know that, creator. Very interesting. You think it was rude for Grandpa Cavendish to go off and have a life independent of YouTube, Paul? I think it's destroyed as part of the funeral ceremony, Peter. It is destroyed. It is definitely destroyed, the ring. But I think it's part of the ceremony. I don't think it's like the moment he dies. I could be wrong about that, though. I'm wrong about a lot, so. The flux is exciting. I don't know, Fillmore. I mean, some things you just don't want flux to occur. I had an old, well, he's my boss's boss actually, but he used to say, "There's opportunity in chaos," and I think that's absolutely true. But yet there are some aspects of my life where I'd rather not have chaos, and the church is one of those. We've solved most of the world's problems, David. We're still not too certain about this whole blowing of smoke thing that we started with earlier, but most of the other problems we've solved. Roger Dodger, you old codger, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Oh, the flux capacitor. Entropy always wins. This is true, Mushroom Leg. You know, 1.21 gigawatts, Richie B brings up. So I use the term GIGA quite a bit in my line of work, um, as a measure of things like resistance. So resistance is measured in ohms, and there would be a giga ohm. And I going all the way back to high school, learned that that is pronounced giga. So it's not gigawatt, it's gigawatt. And when that movie came out, I laughed at it. I thought it was comedy that he was saying gigawatt. I thought it was intentionally put in there to amuse, which it probably was. But I am now meeting, you know, new newly minted postdocs and PhD candidates and things like that that actually say giga ohm. And I honestly think it's just because of that movie. It actually has changed the language. Does anyone know Greek well enough to know if that should be pronounced with a hard G or a soft G? Okay, so his grandparents were from Italy, but he was born in Argentina. Thank you for clarifying that, creator. Now it's Russ's birthday? Russ has gone from being being dead to having a birthday? What happened? Mike McElfresh, hello. Gigohms are way high in electronics, yes, but in cell physiology, especially in when you're trying to establish a recording with a cell, a gigaohm is actually well, it's the minimum value to have a very tight junction seal. Ah, thank you, Chris. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So Chris is saying that the signet ring, which is what is used to seal documents, that is destroyed when he is pronounced dead, but he's wearing a different ring in the coffin. So that's not his signet ring. I think the derivation of gigolo is different from gigawatt, but I could be wrong, Lord Hogarth. And maybe I do say gigolo. I don't know. Home sweet home. Gigawatt according to Gaggle. I don't know what any of that means. So does that mean I'm right, Doug, that it's gigawatt and not gigawatt? Oh, you think it was the gift? Yeah, I still don't know what to do with that. Gigawatts. Hey, the furnace is making an appearance. Got to heat the water. Thank you for clarifying that, Chris. It's really interesting. I mean, the history is so ancient, and there's reasons for all these things, and the reasons why the conclave is secret and all of that is fascinating. It's a mixture of spiritual reasons as well as political reasons and practical reasons. Armchair Piper Ed, you have a great weekend, buddy. Thank you for joining us. I know we're going a little bit over here, but oh, Mushroom Leg, please don't wish that on me. The furnace is one of the few things that's working these days. I don't want to have to fight it. 5,83. I'm glad you found me. A lot of people say exactly what you said there, that, they were watching a matches video and he gave me a shout out and they come over to my channel. So I will be eternally grateful to John for that shout out. Favorite stream side blend. I'm a simple guy, Mike. I usually take Haunted Bookshop with me. Had a question, Doug? I'm sorry, it's gone. If I had one, I can't remember. Anybody remember what my question was? Paul wants me to have the furnace running the whole time. No, I would not say kilowatt, Paul. That's the whole point. Giggity, giggity watts. Sebastian, I am drinking Asher Chocolate Company Chocolate Imperial Stout from Conshohocken Brewing. And I keep saying it like that because Asher Chocolate Company is practically within walking distance of my house. It would be a long walk. But I know, Patrick, I'm running over. I apologize. Oh, there you go. You don't say gigabytes, do you? You don't say that's a 40 gigabyte drive. Yeah, thank you, Doug. Malvis Piper's got a good bowl of OGS going. Very good. Thank you for asking for folks to hit the like button, guys. I do appreciate it. Like button doesn't really help me much, but it helps grow the community. It helps the algorithm understand that people want to watch content like this. I don't care about my own. I do this for fun. I do it because you guys show up every week, but I do want to see the community thrive, and that's why I asked for it. So please do hit that like button. But I believe I am out of the beast here, and I got 1 or 2 swigs to go. We'll try to give this one more light before we give up on it, because it's just that good. In the closing moments, I got a recommendation for you. If you're into that Korean horror drama stuff that I've been watching, I told you before about Guangdong Creature, which was an excellent series. I really enjoyed that. I'm watching a new one right now, and I'm only up to like the 3rd episode, so take this at face value. But it's called Sweet Home, and it's so far as good. It's not as good as Guangdong Creature was. That grabbed me right away. This one's taken a little while to warm up, but it's about these people that live in this apartment building, and there's a basically a zombie apocalypse, but it's a little bit different. They're not just zombies, but they turn into very unusual creatures, monsters basically, and they can't be killed. So cutting their heads off, shooting them in the head, stuff like that, they keep coming back, and it really an interesting setup because these people are stuck together. They're all very unique. They spend a lot of time on character development. The writing seems to be pretty good. Uh, Again, it hasn't grabbed me the same way that Guangdong Creature did, but this is good. There's something about these Korean horror drama things that I'm really enjoying. And it is dubbed. I'm not watching it with subtitles because I don't have the attention span to do that these days. But yeah, so if you're interested in that sort of thing. Has the Beast put me in a meditative state of mind yet? No, it just tastes good. Clint Eastwood was in Revenge of the Creature, yes. He was also in, somebody will correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I think Clint Eastwood was in The Giant Claw, which is one of the greatest movies ever made if you want to laugh at a movie. I'm not going to explore K-pop, Lord Hogarth, no. All right, Piper on the 45, enjoy. Oh no, wait, not what was the movie? It might have been The Giant Mantis. He plays a fighter pilot. He's only in it for a brief time. He's one of the fighter pilots. It's kind of an incidental role where you see this fighter squadron that's going to go attack the creature. And I can't remember if it's the Giant Claw or the Giant Mantis. The Claw is the name of the movie, not the Giant Claw. It's just the Claw or the Giant Mantis. But it's one of those. I just recently watched the Giant Mantis, so it must be the Claw. It wasn't Johnny Mathis. No, that's completely different. See, that's what happens if you use the soft G. See, so if you're doing the whole gigawatt thing, then the Giant Mantis becomes the Johnny Mathis. Not really, but it's close enough. It wasn't Francis in the Navy. It definitely wasn't Francis in the Navy. Oh my goodness. Was it tarantula? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. All right, Mushroom Leg. Enjoy the bath and have a great weekend, buddy. And everyone else, I should draw this to a close. Thank you for sticking with me overtime. And hope you all have a great weekend. And it's really nice to be back. I missed you guys last week, and thank you all for showing up this week to make me feel better. I really enjoy this. So with that, guys, I'm going to go. I'll do a video on Sunday. I'm going to give you my impressions of the Beast. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should use red lighting and wear horns, but probably won't. Take care, everyone. Have a great week and a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Good night.